Whispering Wilds presents with Carissa Blackwood.
Welcome to Whispering Wilds. Today I'm going to tell you what this channel is about through song. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're talking about pagans and witchcraft and magic. Yeah! Welcome! This video is a spiritual expressions video. That was fun. And we are talking about books because as pagans, witches, and magical users, books are a wonderful source of knowledge, inspiration, and they're something that we can hold on to and look back at for the things that really stood out to us. So I don't need to explain it too much. A lot of us like books. And what I've noticed is that as magic users, we have a belief in energy, and the energy and attitude that we have towards reading books is going to affect how well we absorb knowledge, how well we apply what we've learned, and also just our general feeling and attitude towards books is going to change. And I know some witches that consider themselves book witches because they love to read, right? They love to soak up all these different stories and different how-tos, and it's really awesome. And what I've noticed is that for me personally, my relationship with books has not always been the most positive or the most welcoming, and that's kind of an interesting thought, especially because books are so important in the practice and study of witchcraft or paganism or any kind of history. So that's why I'm sharing this story or this video with you today, to tell you a little bit about myself in the hopes that you can find someone to relate to, and maybe you've gone through some of the feelings that I have towards reading books. I don't know if this is just an Aries thing, but for a while now I've kind of looked at books and been like, I don't really want to read that, even though it's a really cool book. And I think I'm doing that because it's like, instead of reading a book, I want to just go out and experience things for myself. And I really do think that's like the fiery energy in me that's like, I'm not gonna sit down and be told what to do by a book, because I want to go discover those things firsthand, trial and error, come back to the drawing board, repeat, try again. So with that said, I wasn't always like that. So for a long time, I would go into a bookstore and I'd be like, wow, look at all of these amazing books. Like, what can I learn today? What can I take home? And I would just open up a book and I'd be like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. You know, like opening up my mind to all these new things. So when I think about like, what was the shift? Why did that change for me? Because lately I've been reading and I feel so peaceful and calm. And then on a different day, I'll look at the same book and be like, I don't really want to deal with you right now. I know you have something to tell me about meditation and how to cast that really cool spell with herbs and tea, but I already drink tea every day and I don't really want to deal with a whole new way to do that. That's kind of being very closed-minded, but sometimes I get that way, so please don't judge me for the inner conflicts that I'm having towards those crazy things called books. So please don't judge me for the weird thoughts that I have and feelings and relationship I have towards reading books, because I think other people probably have this too, but maybe it's just fire signs, maybe it's air signs. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. So there is a point to all this, and I think that the reason why my relationship with books has changed, or there has been like this headbutting against all the cool books that I have, is because books are considered dogma. They have been used for dogma. I'm not saying all books have, but we can look back at history and see how books have been used to control people, to be dogmatic and authoritative. And I'm not going to name any books, but I think that we can decide for ourselves and learn about how books have been used against people in history. And some of that has like taken root into my perception of books. And it might have been because like early on in my spiritual path, I was reading scripture and reading like Vedic texts thinking like, oh, I have to understand this in order to be spiritual. Like I have to understand what that scripture meant in order to have that profound spiritual experience. So I think that might be where some of the frustration comes with reading books, and maybe you've experienced that too. And I feel like at this point, in order to kind of heal from that and enjoy reading books without feeling animosity, I have come up with a little phrase to say over my bookshelf, and it's a little mantra to just approach reading and your book collection in a way that's like loving and you're happy to have those books. So it goes like this. These books are a wonderful collection of knowledge, creativity, and inspiration. So I'll look at my bookshelf and I'll say, these books are a wonderful collection of knowledge, creativity, and inspiration. And that helps me just open up my mind to receiving whatever it is that I'm reading about that day. Because quite often I will be reading through like this book here on The Witch's Book of Self-Help. I love it. My friend gifted it to me, and that was so awesome of her because I'm super into self-help, and like what an awesome book to have, right? But as I'm reading through it, I'm noticing that some pages are jumping out to me and I'm like, I don't want to spend time on that. I don't care. But I know that that's something that I've been interested in the past, so I'm just kind of fighting against it. And if that's how I'm feeling today, fine. But I want to be able to open up my mind to say, maybe tomorrow or another day that will stand out to me and it will be something awesome. Or maybe my goal is to kind of be able to approach any book with an open mind and from a place of curiosity where there's nothing in it that's really going to put me in a bad mood because I'm fighting against it. I feel like this video has really been about being mindful, being reflective, and coming from the lens of mental health, which are things that I'm all very passionate about. And as pagans and witches, I know that's something that we like to incorporate into our lives and as spiritual people. So please let me know in the comments what you think and what are your thoughts about how to really create pleasurable experiences around reading, how to create a love for reading. And if you like the video, please share it and share the channel with friends and family. So thank you so much for joining me. Merry part and blessed be.